Jamie? Jamie? Now what mischief is that boy up to?
A man spends a hard day at the bank. Then that woman drags him off to some darn fool temperance meeting. There just isn't any justice.
Come on in. Nobody's home. Mom and Dad go to the temperance meeting down at church. What's a temperance meeting? I guess it means you can't drink any liquor. Sit down here. I'll be right back. Look at this. Wow, a cavalry flag. Yeah, and it's yours. Mine? You mean you're going to give me this flag? My uncle sent me 2 of them from St. Louis. Mine's an artillery flag, so you can have this one. Oh, cavalry flag. Thanks, Matthew. Sure. Say, you want to hear any music machine? Just listen to this. Ain't that something? It's all right. Soldiers don't have music machines. Yeah, I guess you're right.
If you only want 50 of them handbills, it'll cost you 25 cents. Can't do it no cheaper.
Good God, I can't even afford to go broke. First the drought, now I ain't got money enough to buy handbills to sell my place.
Selling out lock, stock, and barrel, are you? Well, I can give you credit till after the auction.
Mr. Kettlinger, my grandpa says you have a job for us.
Why, I give you boys a shiny 5-cent piece if you'll take that bent handle over to the blacksmith shop and wait until he straightens it out and bring it back. What you gonna do about your family?
Oh, I don't know. Guess I'll go west and see if I can get work in the coal fields down around Canopolis. Guess that farmer had it tough. Yep. It's a good thing we're going to be soldiers, not farmers.
Hey, you kids, move on out of there.
Yep, I'm from Nicodemus, out in Graham County. Ain't running no cattle through there anymore. Used to be a lot of drives come up that way.
Nicodemus? Don't think I ever heard of Nicodemus.
It's about 200 miles west of here. Lots of black folks settled in Nicodemus after the war. Hodgman County, too. Weren't much there for me to do, so I'm here doing my blacksmithing.
Well, the cattle drives are done with all over Kansas ever since the governor signed that quarantine law. Of course, they was going before that, the gol darn farmers fencing the prairie, and last year's blizzard wiped out most everyone in the state.
Good thing we're not going to be cowboys either. Mr. Kentlinger needs his handle fixed right away.
Jamie and Matthew had little concern for troubles of farmers and cattlemen, but agriculture in Kansas was changing fast. The farmer learned he couldn't make a living off small plots of land. He had to mechanize to farm the wide expanse of Kansas, and he discovered a way to keep out the cattlemen. No, the problems of blizzards for the cattlemen and drought for the farmers didn't mean much to 2 young boys who only wanted to be soldiers. Their problems seemed to center around getting the evening chores done or choosing a piece of penny candy down at the general store. But there were other decisions that Jamie faced growing up in Kansas.
You come straight home from school, Jamie.
Most important, of course, was Miss Hubbard's Public School number 3. It was a school like many others in Kansas in 1887, with grades 1 through 8, all taught in one crowded little classroom by the same teacher. It was here that Jamie learned reading and arithmetic. But even more than that, Miss Hubbard's school was a place where Jamie found out what those about him were doing.
All right, children, it's time to see how well we know our multiplication tables. Now, who can tell the class what 3 times 9 is? Lisa?
3 times 9 is 27.
That's right.
How come you weren't in school yesterday?
We took a train to Fort Wyland to see my brother.
Can you tell us?
Your brother's a soldier?
Yep, he's a sergeant in the cavalry.
Cody's brother's in the cavalry.
Jamie Sutherland, you march up here this instant.
There were other lessons to be learned at Miss Hubbard's school, and these lessons sometimes came hard.
Young man, you know what happens to boys who talk in this class.
Yes, ma'am.
We will not stand for that kind of deportment.
Jamie managed to survive, and as he grew up, so did the young state. We all watched the slow progress it took to build the dome on the State House. We'd make a trip to Topeka every 6 months or so to see how much they'd done. The state even started to get some industry. Nothing big, you understand, but big enough you could notice it. They started to take a lot of coal out of the ground in the southeast part of the state, and at Canopolis they built up a big salt operation. Anyway, it was enough industry for the Knights of Labor to organize and strike the coal mines, but the mine operators won out anyway. Of course, no matter how civilized we thought we were, there was still some wildness left in Kansas. The Dalton boys proved that just last year down in Coffeyville when they tried to rob the town's 2 banks. Turned if the whole town didn't take up arms and gun them down. By the time that happened, Jamie had gotten through the 8th grade, and we got him hired on at Mr. Kettlinger's print shop. But he and Matthew still hadn't got it out of their heads to be soldiers.
Jamie, wait a minute. Well, I caught you just in time. I got us a ride over to Gary County. The artillery's training there today. Come on.
Nah, I gotta go to work.
Well, we can get a ride back on Morgan's livery wagon and be back before supper.
Nah, I still gotta go to work. Besides, you're the one that wants to be in the artillery. I'm gonna be in the cavalry, remember?
If you're going to be in the cavalry, then what are you wasting your time in that print shop for?
Listen, I gotta go.
Matthew? I have to go over to the print shop for a bit. Could you wait here until I get back?
Yes, sir.